Welcome to lockdown at Lili Wen Farm. Today we would like to introduce you to our newest herd member, Orla. We rescued Orla 6 months ago from a lonely, hungry and empty life at the bottom of somebody's garden. We don't know much about her past. All we know for sure is that by the time we found her, she had almost no life left in her at all. She was so thin that you could see most of her bones, and she was so weak she could barely stand to have her hoof picked up. She had to lean against the stable wall. These photographs and film were taken on the day that we rescued her.
Yeah. Good girl, and again. Yeah, she's leaning. Oh.
Now, 6 months on, after a lot of care and attention and the right feeding plan, all designed to build her up and make her healthy, Orla is a very cheeky, sassy little pony who is overflowing with life. To help Orla get strong and healthy, we had to make sure she was eating all the right things, from good quality hay and feed to a big chunk of salt that she can lick for extra minerals. Because Orla had been so hungry for so long, we couldn't let her eat lots straight away, because that would have made her ill. She started off with simple hay, and on the first day it took her about 6 hours before she did a poo, because there was so little food in her system, while healthy horses normally poo 8 to 10 times a day. Horses' hooves are like toenails and they grow all the time, so they need to be trimmed every 6 to 8 weeks by a skilled farrier. Here she is having her first visit from the farrier. Over Orla's first few weeks with us, we were able to let her eat grass for 10 minutes at a time, a few times a day, and then we built it up slowly so that she could eat like a normal horse. And then, when she was ready, she was allowed to go out in the field with her new friend, Alistair. Now Orla had a chance to build up some muscle and fitness, ready for life in the main herd. Really, I just think she was pleased to not be on her own anymore. Throughout Orla's time here so far, she has just lived with Alistair in the field, next door to all the other horses. But now, Echo, Rolo and Marshmallow are living in the paddock with her and Alistair, and here she is saying hi to Molly. It's time for her to start building some social skills ready to live with the herd. In the feed room, each of these bins holds a different kind of horse feed. In the bright red bin that says "Do not feed unsoaked" is a feed that you must not feed unsoaked. You have to add water for it to be safe. And then it turns into this sloppy mash that all the horses love. There are 8 containers and they're all numbered so that everyone knows what each horse eats, because it's written here on this board. There is a different coloured bucket for every horse, so that it's easy to tell whose is whose. Here we have green for Daisy, pink for Orla and red for Merlin. Now we're going to make their feed. In bin 2, we've got this special dried chopped grass. It's high in fibre and specially made for horses. It's also high in protein and it's really tasty. This is perfect for Merlin because he's old and needs extra calories, and perfect for Orla because she still needs good quality feed to maintain her weight. In bin number 3 we have micronized linseed. This is an oily, fatty, cooked seed, which is really great for their skin, their hooves, and for putting on weight. Because this mash is dangerous to feed when dry, it has locking handles on the top, so just in case a clever door-opening pony, like someone you've met already, Maggie May, gets into the tack room, she can't eat it and hurt herself. We add 1 scoop of dry mash to every 2 scoops of water, but when it's hot in the summer, I like a wetter mash, so I add 3. Then we give it a stir to mix it together and leave it to soak. 20 minutes later. Now that it's absorbed all that water, it's a lovely sloppy mash. Yum, yum, yum. This is a fantastically nutritious mash, full of protein and calories. The last thing to go into Orla's bucket is what we call a balancer. This is a concentrated feed full of essential amino acids, those help to build up muscles, and vitamins and minerals, which are super important, a bit like you eating your 5 a day. And now we're mixing all of that together, ready for Orla's dinner. Horses are grazing animals, which means they eat all throughout the day, so the best way to feed a horse is splitting their food into more than one meal for them to get the most out of it. Now these are ready for later after Orla's done some work. Orla has been brushed and now she's going to try on the driving harness for the first time. This is what horses and ponies wear when they pull a carriage. At Maggie's Voice we have a wheelchair adapted pony carriage, so maybe one day Orla will have a job pulling that. Here, Orla is having her first long reining lesson, and she's wearing the driving harness. Orla has never done this before, so I'm showing her what to do by steering her with the reins and using my voice.
Good girl.
At first she was a bit confused, and she kept stopping to try to eat the grass. Who can blame her? This spring grass looks so tasty. As we went on, she began to understand what I was asking her to do.
Whoa. Whoa. Good.
Now it's finally time for some well-earned food. She loves dinner time. Orla has to touch my hand to ask nicely for her dinner. That didn't take long. We hope you've enjoyed this episode and getting to know Orla. I wonder if you can remember the answer to these questions. Number 1. How long does it take for the mash to soak so that it's safe for the horses to eat?
Yes, you.
Number 2. What colour is Orla's bucket? If you'd like to make a picture of Orla or any of the other horses, you can send it to us on voicemaggies@gmail.com or the Maggie's Voice Facebook page.
What do horses use their tails for?
swatting flies
And why does Betty have her mane plaited?
so she doesn't get sweaty.
And what's your name?
Jamie,
And how old are you?
6.